Hello. Once again, this is me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. This is just a quickie as I'm about to go out. As you can see, I'm dressed to go out. It's quite chilly today. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of August 2010. And yesterday was one of those annoying days because after I came back from my doctor's surgery, I found one of these cards from the post office telling me that they'd tried to deliver something and then they'd taken it back to the sorting office, the delivery office as they call it. Actually, it is the delivery office. The sorting office might be in somewhere else, maybe Blackburn or somewhere. But I'd just like to mention one or two things about this business of taking these back to the post office, to the delivery office, because it is a ruddy nuisance. I realise that the post office can't, or Royal Mail rather, can't deliver a letter if you're not in, and it has to be signed for by you, although they can leave it with a neighbour if they trust them, if they know you. But couple of things. The first thing is, I live in Haslingden, which is one of three towns, Haslingden, Rawtenstall and Bacup, which comprise the area, largely comprise the area, covered by Rossendale Borough Council. Now, they're quite a distance apart, these towns. Rossendale is about, Haslingden is about a mile and a half from Rawtenstall, and Rawtenstall is several miles from Bacup. But for some reason, and I cannot make head nor tail of it, but Royal Mail insist on calling the whole area Rossendale. They say this is the delivery, this is the town. But there is no such place as Rossendale. No, there's no town on the map called Rossendale. No, there isn't. So I don't live in Rossendale. The area might be known as Rossendale, like the county is known as Lancashire. But I live in the town called Haslingden. So anybody who writes to me, if they just put Rudd Street, Rossendale, it's meaningless. Because there might be Rudd Street in Bacup or Rudd Street in Rawtenstall. So I don't understand what the post office are doing, playing at. Now, on the address that they give on this card, it says, your item has been returned to the Royal Mail Rossendale Delivery Office, 12 K Street, Rossendale. Well, there's no such town as Rossendale, so if I didn't happen to know where the delivery office was, I'd never find it, because if I looked on the map, I would never find a place called Rossendale. There's no buses go to Rossendale, no buses come from Rossendale. And I don't see why the post office should call my town Haslingden Rossendale. And I've actually had parcels marked as undeliverable because it had Haslingden on it and not Rossendale. Now, the other thing I'd like to mention is that if you post a letter and it doesn't have enough stamps on, if it gets picked up at the sorting office, if they're what they call revenue protection people, pick it up and discover that you've not got enough stamps on it, they won't deliver it until the recipient has paid a fine of £1 plus whatever the extra postage is. And I think this is dreadful, because the principle is that the sender pays. And this has always been the principle since William Hill. When the Royal Mail first started, it was the recipient who paid. So people didn't like to receive a letter because it meant they'd have to pay money out. And some people would seal their letterboxes. Until William Hill came along and said this is nonsense. And he said the sender pays. And this is how it's always been. You buy a stamp, put it on the envelope, post it. But now the post office has got themselves their knickers in such a twist, with all the hundreds of different variations of prices and sizes, the amount of time that's wasted pushing envelopes that you take to the post office through slots in a sample slot board that most post offices have. It's enormous. And the post office, the Royal Mail, or whatever they call themselves, because they seem to refer to each other by different titles according to what time of day it is. They got me into a lot of difficulty on this because of this. Because I was expecting a very, very important legal document from a notary public, which had been sent all the way to Milton Keynes, to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, to be what's called legalised, which means to have a frank put on it, government frank and stamped, that to the effect that the notary public signature was genuine. So that document I could take anywhere in the world and show it to any government and they would accept it. And what happened was, unfortunately, there wasn't enough stamps on it. So all I knew was a little note from the post office saying, we have an item here, we're not going to deliver it unless you pay £1 plus extra postage, whatever, £1.25 or whatever it was. So because I don't believe in paying as the recipient, I wrote to them and I said, forget it, I'm not interested in the letter. Not unaware as I was that it was a very important legal document. I never heard another thing. So my legal document was thrown away and shredded, despite the fact that it was immensely and intensely important and cost me a lot of hassle. So I wrote to the chairman of the post office, Royal Mail, Adam Crozier as he was then. I think he's still there, but he's about to leave, and a woman from Canada is taking over. I wrote to him and I said, the amount of time and effort for the sake of £1 is ridiculous. I said, the guy in the sorting office who weighed the item, the guy in the sorting office who wrote to me, the sorting office guy who sorted it out and then the postman who delivered it to me, my reading it, my replying, my sending my complaint to you, I said it has cost hours of time and effort, and I've had to go and get extra documents notarized all over again and sent down all the way to the Foreign Office in Milton Keynes because of this stupid procedure. And it's typical of the Royal Mail because there is, in some ways, they're as thick as two short planks when it comes to business. If your product doesn't sell, if you're selling eggs at 50p for half a dozen and nobody's buying them, are they going to buy them if you say they're now £1 for half a dozen? Which is what happens with Royal Mail. They say, not enough people are posting letters today, so we're going to put the price up. Well, if your product's not selling, if you put the price up, it's going to sell even less. Now, I may be thick, but that's economic sense to me. So, Royal Mail, if you halved the price of a stamp, 3 times as many people would probably use your services, and you would more than cover the cost. So, don't keep putting the price up, it's just silly. It's just nonsensical. When I was a boy, for an old penny, you could post a letter, and there were 3 deliveries a day. Anyway, I've had my moan. I'm now going down to the post office, Royal Mail delivery, in this invisible town called Rossendale, to collect my parcel. And I shall say to them, excuse me, but I can't find Rossendale on the map. Can you point it out to me? And see what happens. I'll report back tomorrow. All the best. God bless while it's still legal in the UK to say God bless. Take care. Bye.